This is a video providing an overview of the Shared Housing Resource Guide, developed by the Shared Housing Institute, which partners with a dynamic network of shared housing providers from across the country. This guide is for staff who've completed a system-wide shared housing learning collaborative with their city, the state, or their region. We're going to do a very quick overview of how we define shared housing in this work. We're going to summarize the key quality found in all effective shared housing programs. We're going to look what's inside the resource guide, and we're going to learn how to deploy the housemate pairing cards and housemate agreements with 2 attached scenario videos. So our vision, the Shared Housing Institute and all of our effective shared housing partners from across the country, our vision is that people are exiting homelessness sooner and quicker with shared housing options that promote both affordability and community. Shared housing here is permanent housing where 2 or more unrelated people have their own room and share common living space. Each tenant has their own lease with the landlord, and they may stay or leave shared housing at any time. These are actually the foundational rules of HUD and all of its requirements for funding shared housing programs. So the key finding that we have from our research found to be true across all effective shared housing programs is that every single service and every single part of their service is based on housing first, client-centered principles. We found no standardized fidelity model of shared housing, but we have found that shared housing works for all populations, including people with substance use and mental health challenges. You can see here from this chart that the return to homelessness rate for these programs, this is just a sampling of the effective programs from around the country. That return to homelessness rate is very low, and it's very low because each of these programs is founded on and developed on housing first, client choice principles. So the Shared Housing Resource Guide has 2 parts. The first part is for staff. So the first half has many, many different resources and tools that we've gone through in the trainings for staff to utilize as a desk guide, especially in the first 6 to 10 months of the housing first, shared housing, client choice culture shift that we're supporting in all of the learning collaborative work. The second part of the guide is a client packet. And this client packet is to be copied for every shared housing placement. In that packet for staff are client messaging tools that we've reinforced in the trainings, helps to support that continuous conversation process for client messaging. There's also housemate pairing process tools and overview, and also a tool example for your own housemate pairing development. And there's also housemate pairing conversation cards. So these cards you have in hand, utilizing that with the resource guide. What we understand about housemate pairing is these cards and questions will be utilized to help tenants identify their deal breakers when they're talking with someone who's a potential housemate pairing for them. We know that this is not going to solve all conflict. We know that's one of the issues with shared housing, that we're finding effective tools and resources to support. And we know that these cards, though, can actually set up a relationship foundation for housemates going into housing together as a conversation base. And we're going to see 2 different scenarios that promote the use of these in action. This is the housemate agreement guide that's in the guide itself, which is utilized with every single placement. So we want to reiterate the housemate agreement is always working hand in hand with the housemate pairing question cards. And that's found on page 18 of the guide. Again, you can copy this as many times as you need to for all shared housing placements. We also have in the client packet different tips on how to be a good housemate, like conflict resolution tips, self de-escalation tips that staff can utilize and practice with people who've been moved into shared housing together, and also community support tips, and also some wonderful resource booklets that are available for everyone. The links are there to support the community connection we all have once we're in our own home. So the Shared Housing Institute is happy to bring this forward to any community interested in coming into a system-wide shared housing learning collaborative training. Stay connected to the next 2 scenarios, and you'll see how housemate pairing and housemate agreements are effectively utilizing these tools to help promote client choice, client-driven shared housing. Any more information you need, feel free to contact me. My name is Jamie Taylor. I'm the founder of the Shared Housing Institute. My email is here, and we look forward to hearing from you.
We are members of the Shared Housing Institute.
We'll be role-playing as people experiencing homelessness.
This exercise will demonstrate the use of the Housemate pairing cards and the Housemate agreement that you've received in your shared housing package.
In this role, we do not know each other. We have been paired together by our case managers based on the shared housing survey.
I will be role-playing as a 24-year-old man who's been experiencing homelessness for the past 2 years after getting kicked out of my house.
I'll be role-playing as a 24-year-old female who has been experiencing homelessness for 1 year after leaving an unsafe living environment.
All right, and we will now begin the demonstration.
Our case manager has let us know that we can ask these questions in any order we choose and ask however many we would like.
All right, there's like a bunch of questions in here. Do you want us to blow up the deck and see what we like?
Absolutely. I see a few in here that look good.
Yeah, me too.
Do you want to start?
Yeah, I got you. First question, do you like to share food and drinks?
So typically I don't really like sharing food, but if there's something that we buy together, I would be okay with that.
Okay. I think it's a good idea to section off our fridge too, just to make sure we know what belongs to who.
Yeah, perfect. That sounds great.
We'll just ask each other each time we want to share something.
All right, awesome.
Okay.
Do you mind having a pet in the house?
I have a dog. If you don't mind having a dog in the house.
What kind of dog is it?
It's just medium size. Sleeps all day. It's pretty chill.
All right, yeah. Since he's medium sized, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I think my limits for pets would be 1 though. I don't really feel comfortable having more than that.
Okay, no problem. How are we gonna plan for cleaning the common spaces?
Well, I usually don't really have a set time that I clean things. It's more
Neither
of like
do I.
when they need to be.
Okay. Should we just make a schedule of some sort? Hold each other accountable?
Yeah, I think if we can hold each other accountable, and if that doesn't work out, then we can make a schedule.
Okay, sounds good.
Are overnight sitters okay?
I got a buddy from the shelter that I'm planning on inviting every now and then, if you don't mind.
Okay. I'm okay with visitors, but for overnight people, I would really like if I got to know them first, since I do have some trust issues.
Okay, yeah, we can take some time to get to know each other before he starts sleeping over.
Okay. And what if I don't like them?
The guy is like a brother to me, and he's like my only friend, so I think I have the right to invite him over as I am paying rent in the house.
But I feel like I have a right to be safe, to feel safe where I am.
Yeah, for sure. We can just try it out and see what happens.
Okay. Well, maybe, if I don't like the person, we could figure out a schedule where if I'm out of the house, then, they can be over.
Yeah, I don't know if we're always going to be able to match your flexibility, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
How about we just give it a shot and see what we can do from there?
All right, we'll try it out.
Okay. What qualities do you hope to find in a good housemate?
I'm looking for somebody with good communication skills so that if we do have a problem, we can just talk about it without getting aggressive.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm definitely looking for someone who can be more of a friend than a housemate.
Okay, I think that's something that might take me a little longer.
All right, yeah, I'll give you as much space as you need.
All right, thank you. Would you prefer the home to be alcohol and drug-free?
Yes, I would prefer that.
Okay. How do you feel about someone smoking weed?
As long as it's outside, I think I'll be okay with it, but definitely not in the house.
Okay, I think that's a good compromise.
Okay.
So it looks like we have some blank cards here. So this is an option for us to write our own questions and ask things that are important to us.
Okay. What time do you normally go to bed?
So I usually go to bed 11:30 or 12.
Okay, I'm kind of the opposite. I like to go to bed pretty early, around 8 or 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
I usually listen to music when I fall asleep. Is that something you'd be okay with?
Just as long as it's not too loud. I'm a pretty heavy sleeper, so I think it'll work, but we'll see. We can adjust as we go on.
Okay. Well, maybe we could just set some quiet hours.
Yeah, for sure. I'll make sure I'm not disturbing you in the morning too.
Okay, that's awesome.
Cool.
So I think based on our answers, it sounds like we'd be pretty good housemates.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you want to move on to the shared housing agreement?
Yeah, let's see what we have here.
All right, great.
Hi, we're modeling another shared housing housemate pairing vignette. This time we are modeling older single adults, and I'm role playing someone who's been homeless for 3 years.
And I'm modeling someone who's been homeless for 6 months since the pandemic.
And this time, the case manager gave us the cards, and we decided just to lay them all out here so we can see them all, and then we can just pick up the ones that we want. So we have them all out here in front of us. And just pick the ones you want.
Okay. Well, I think I like this one. And my question to you would be, what are your pet peeves?
Okay. For me, pet peeves are, I'm gonna say cleanliness. Like it's there for me. It's not just a pet peeve. Like I'm a Virgo and I like the house in order. So it's a pet peeve if everything is always out of order.
I'm a Virgo too.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm very tidy. And if you leave things too long, I kind of have a issue with that. So I'm very clean.
You got
Once
that.
a week, I tend to clean up the place and things like that.
Fab.
Okay. I got another one. Do you watch television shows?
I watch some shows on Netflix.
Netflix and chill.
I know. How are we gonna pay for Netflix? We could split it, right? You could find a way to split
My
it.
phone company gives it to me for free.
Yeah. Who's your phone company?
We'll talk about that.
Okay. Wow. Wow. Cool. You know, I want to go back to something like you said something about reading the Bible. And I just want to say, like, as roommates, for me, like, is it okay? Like, I honor your religion, but like, you're not gonna try to make me be like studying the Bible either, right?
No, that's your privilege. Now, if the opportunity comes and you want to be a part of it, then I will mention it. But that's your decision. I can't make you do anything.
Cool. Cool. So respect. Cool.
Absolutely
Okay.
respect. I'm hoping that my religion, being a Christian, is not a problem for you.
Oh no, you do your thing. I do my thing. That's cool. Yeah.
Or are you into
Yeah.
church or anything?
I kind of like nature. I kind of like walking in nature, and that's sort of my way of connecting. So
Okay, I'm cool with that. As long as you know where I stand
I hear you.
and I know where you stand.
Right.
I think that would be a nice common ground.
Yeah. Respect. So it's a big one. It's a big one for me. Are you vaccinated? And are you willing to have guests wear masks when they come over if they're not vaccinated?
So I am not vaccinated. However, and if people do come over, I would prefer that they did have a mask on. I know that they were 6 feet apart right now, but that would be a huge problem. It's my body and I have the right to put things in it. How about you? Are you vaccinated?
Well, I'm vaccinated. I don't know, like, you gonna get vaccinated?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Right, not right now. Again, there's a history with, especially with African American people and the vaccine. So, and I know there's many of us that are dying in the hospital, but I'm concerned. I don't know what's in there. And again, I often think I don't know what's in the McDonald's chicken nugget either. So you don't know what you're getting, but at least that is a concern for me. Is that a problem?
I gotta be real. That's a problem. That's a problem. Like, I know that like this opportunity to get into this unit that they showed us is great. It's a great neighborhood. It's close to transportation. I love it. And I know that it's affordable in a way that finding my own unit's not. But I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about it.
I can understand you need to think about it, but even if people are vaccinated, I would still suggest that they have their mask on and coming in because you don't know who's carrying the virus or not.
I hear you, but also you're not vaccinated, so I just gotta think about this. I think we just gotta put this on hold. I just gotta think about this. Okay.
So should we squash it here and while you thinking about it?
I think so. I think so. But thank you. Great to meet you. Thank
too.
you.
But I don't have cooties though either.
I know. I hear you.
Okay.
All right.
Well, thank you. It was nice meeting you.